All right. Just please give me some minutes. Please, is my screen visible? Can someone convert that with me, if probably by emojis and all?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir. You
thank
receive.
you. So we say something regarding user, I mean UI design principles, where we try to like digress to physics and all like that, the principle of rotation, the principle Archimedes principle and all. And I said something that there's no any career out there, probably a job out there that doesn't have principle guiding each of them. And in UI UX design, or probably product design as you call it, there's also we also have principle that guides it. We have principle that guides it. That is where consistency comes out. Where I made mention of something earlier there, that you see some banking apps there, or you see some other products out there, you discover that they are all interrelated. Meaning, like, if you like transit from one screen to another, you discover that the following screens still have the same font style, font size, the color, the button. You discover that they all have the same thing, just like the content inside it is different. But the alignment, their spacing, everything is just like they are all the same thing. It's just like consistent for just like for people to just know, for people to love what they actually do. You can be using a product and discover that, oh, I love the way I'm navigating through this product. It's just like probably you navigate from one screen and you get to another screen. You now discover that the way the button is there is different from like the way the button is in the other screen. You just find it like you find that product, you just find that product tiring and boring. So everything in any product that we're working on should be what, like, everything, our design should be consistent. That is where like the principle of design system comes up. Design system give us room to make everything that we are designing on our screen, to make it perfect and make it consistent. It won't be like you are doing guessing work. Oh, I want to make this font. I want to make it 20. I want to make this one. I want to make it Sharif Jakarta. I want to make it this one Time New Mirror. I want to make it. No, 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 no. Once there is proper design system, whatever that we are designing, whatever that we're designing as touching that particular product that we set the design system from, everything will just go well. Because that design system is just like being created, like being like planned and being created for that particular product that we are working on. You can just compare some product to product. You discover that, like, the font that they use is different, even their color is different. We talked about UBA now. In fact, if you see any bank with red color in Nigeria today, the one thing that will come to your head is, you said, UBA. And if you see a bank like this today in for people that are in Nigeria here, the first thing that probably you see a bank with us, I mean with Elephant, the first thing that will come to your mind is what is First Bank. And the reason why it's like that is that they are consistent in what they do. It's not that their branch that is probably in one state is different from the way, like, the structure is different from it. For people that convert, like, they understand the system of Nigerian banking system, you will discover that there's a bank Popularis. You will discover that, probably you will see the way they design their own, like, their structural design. You see that if you leave the particular place that you are, if you go to another branch, you discover that it's still the same how the structure will look like. Same thing to their products. Same thing to their product. You discover that their color is different, their font is different, their icons, they are all different. So consistent is the key when you are designing any product. Another thing is hierarchy. Hierarchy in design. Hierarchy is also something that we should not neglect. You can see now, if you see my screen here, we see UI design principle, meaning that this is the title of what we are doing here. And before your eyes will come down, your eyes have already seen this. Because we just try to, we try to just set it accordingly. We set it accordingly. In any organization, we notice that, okay, every organization is being structured hierarchically, meaning probably we have the CEO. Okay, probably we have the CEO, we have the executive body. From the executive body, we have the managers, we have the supervisors, or we have other staffs or other positions. Okay, so it's like design also like follow that same principle. That same principle. That is why I said you cannot just like, okay, probably you now discover that your sign up or sign in form is at the back of the product, the back for the product. Before you design any screen, you design your sign in, you design your sign up, you sign your sign in, you sign your login, you sign everything before you start designing the dashboard. You start designing any other screen that that we need to design together with the product that we are designing. Another thing is alignment. Our alignment must be well structured and well, fit. It's not that, oh, one button will not be aligned very well. We need to align all our content, our button, give it a good spacing, a good padding, everything. So we don't confuse people that we are designing the product for. Know this, note this, note this. If you are designing, you are not designing for yourself. You are designing for people. The product is not for you. It's for people out there to use. You are not designing product for yourself. You think how people think out there. You feel their pain and you design for them to solve the problem that they're actually facing. To solve the problem they're actually facing. So any product you design that doesn't solve the problem of people, it means that the problem is off. I mean, the product is off. So you need to what? You need to what? To just make everything work for your user. So alignment is also something we should very, very take note of when we are designing, as we are designing now, because I really believe in practical. So as we are designing, I will be try to remind us of what we have actually learned during the course of our theory time section. So another one is contrast. Contrast. And what does that mean? It means, the colors and the lights that we'll be adding together. We need to be very, very very, very careful about that. It's not just that, oh, you want to do this thing. You don't do things anyhow when it comes to design. If it is your design, your personal design, you can do it anyhow because you know how to navigate through. But a product that millions of billions of people will use out there, you need to what? You need to just make everything work for, be it people that people that have a good vision and people that don't have a good vision. You can't just mix everything up. You are using black on black. It won't make sense. You need to make things work for every users. Every users. Fonts that that's not one of the things that people don't know. For people in Nigeria, sorry, like I'm making more emphasis on Nigerian. I think one of the reasons why people fall in love with Opay, one of the fintech bank in Nigeria, one of the things that make people fall in love. In fact, people use like card because the way they design their ATM card is that design is very is unique. The design of their ATM is very, very, it's something that out of those people that are into fintech, the companies that are into fintech, their design is so very, very fine. So that is one of the things that those are the things that make people fall in love with them. Again, is spacing. Again, is spacing. I think I said something about that when I was talking about alignment. Spacing. Our spacing should be well okay. Well okay. And again, when we are designing, we should think of simplicity. Simplicity. Your product should just give your users how to navigate through. In any mobile product today, many mobile apps today, everybody knows that their navigation button, tabs, is below the screen. And probably you say, no, you want to make your own unique, your product, you want to make it unique, and you now just push your own your navigational button, you now push it up there. No, it will not work. You are not designing for web. You are not designing for desktop. You are designing for mobile. So you should try all your possible best to make your product, make it simple. Because if there is no any sense in making your product simple, and they develop the product, you push it out there, you spend a lot of money on ad, you spend much of money on marketing and the like, and at the end of everything, you are not seeing any results. It doesn't make sense. You make your product, make it simple for people to be able to navigate through it. Another thing is typography in UI. Typography in UI. Those are the important things that we must look into. Typography. Our typography should must be should be a readable one. Like our typography should be a readable font. Imagine you are designing and you are now using lettering. You're using all these lettering fonts in your design. It doesn't make sense because your user might find it difficult to be able to navigate through your product. Another thing is maintain font hierarchy. What I mean by maintain font hierarchy is that when we dive into our practical and we try to design our star guide or design system, we understand what we are saying. Because when you are designing, we have different weights. We have different weights of our font. Probably there can be some font that they are bold, and probably they are 15. Some can be bold, they can be 10. Some can be bold, they can be 35. Some can be bold and they can be 32. Depend on how everything is all about hierarchy of it. Probably you want to make a star guide font for your title. Maybe you make it 32 bold. Okay, maybe subtitle you make it 30 bold. So you start setting those star guide accordingly, and probably you set your content star guide font. Probably you set it to 14 or 12 or 16 and all, just depending on how the product is. So hierarchy of font, we should also maintain it. It's not that we want to use your title font, you want to use it for what? You want to use it for your content. It won't make sense, and it won't come out well. And again, limit to 2 to 3 font families. Not like you want to use the whole font that we have on Figma. You want to use Sherif Jakarta, you want to use Poppin, no. You just try to limit your font to 2 to 3 families for everything to just look consistent and everything look balanced. Maintain proper spacing. We should also try to maintain proper spacing when it comes to typographic in UI. Try to maintain proper spacing. Moving forward, we are now on our color theory in UI. Color theory in UI, we have different types of color. We have the primary, we have the secondary, we have the accent, we have the maintain contrast use and all. And in fact, we have color palettes. So, they are all important when we are designing. Okay, the primary color, if you look at the primary color for, let me see a product that is international that we can just talk about. Please, if you know any product that is a kind of international product, okay, you can see Facebook. I think Facebook is an international product. Jumia is an international food product. Temu is an international product. If you look at, let me just use Temu that is just that comes up. Now, if you look at Temu, you discover that their primary color is what is more like yellow. If you look at Jumia, you see that their color, they have same color, they share the same color with Temu. If you look at Facebook, you will discover that the primary color of Facebook is blue. And if we look at TikTok, we know that their primary color. And when Twitter was Twitter, you know that Twitter was blue also, but now it's more like black and white. So that is what we can actually say is about the primary color when we are discussing regarding product. The secondary color. Secondary color is just the colors that we just need to polish up our product, polish up the screen of those products, and accent color, same thing to it, maintain the contrast, and use consistent palette. The only way that we can use this consistent palette is for us to have a star guide. And for any product, any good product, workable product out there, for any good designers, you need to have, and you want to design a product after you have make your research, after you have seal your deal with the stakeholders, you make every decision you want to make all about the product. You need to set just the first thing on your Figma or any platform that you're using to design is to set your design system or star guide. Okay, so another one is avoid too much many color. Your color is your color. You cannot see Facebook today, even when they bought Facebook, you can't see Facebook now see adding this color and adding this color. They are consistent with their color. Since I've known Jumia now, they are consistent. Even if they are adding some features to their product, they are still consistent with their color. So we should also avoid too many color. Even if you want to just make an adjustment to your color, it shouldn't be users should not notice what you just try to adjust. Moving forward, we have US law. We have US laws, and these laws are things that we just need to just find our time to read better on it. ICE law says too many choice, slow decisions. BIC law says bigger buttons are easier to click. Jacobs law say user prefer familiar interface. All these laws that I made mention now is something that I've discussed earlier. When I talked about familiar face, that is when I was trying to tell us about we should have a kind of interrelated what? We should have a kind of interrelated screen. Not this screen. Not like this screen is different from this one. Not like this screen is different from an other screen. We should make all of the screen, the interface to be related. Bigger button, as I said, the bigger button are easy. If your button is very small, and this is mobile, and you are not using tab, your hand might be touching something else. You should they said bigger buttons are easy to click. Too many choices, slow decision. Moving forward, we have design tools. We have Figma, we have Adobe XD, we have Sketch, we have Canva. But for the sake of this training, we are going to strictly stick to Figma. And I bet you, if you can be able to navigate through Figma, you can also walk through any other product. When it comes to product design, you can actually you can use any product to design your product. So moving forward, Figma is very easy to navigate through, not too much of tools, it's not complicated, very easy, straightforward tools that we can actually navigate as a beginner. You can actually navigate through it easily, and it makes life so easier for us. Okay, moving forward, we have, please, can someone just let me know if you are hearing me, because I'm seeing something as if my network is filled. Please, can you just give me a thumbs up if probably I'm still audible at your hand there, please. I need a thumbs up from us. Please, I need a thumbs up from us. Thank you, Mr. Jedidas. Thank you. So, user deliverable. UX deliverables. When we say UX deliverables, means that deliverables of what UX designer. Set user persona, user flow, wireframe, prototype, and design system. You get all these things. We said it before. User personas just try to get the empathy of users, like the problem that they're actually facing. We get it as a UX designer, and we try to look for the out how the product, like how it's going to flow, like we mean user flow. So once we get all those things, like we look into wireframing, and once we got to wireframing, it means that we started our design already. We started our design already. From once we start from low wireframe, we start from mid fidelity, we end up in high fidelity. Low fidelity is just the sketching, using your pen and your biro to just sketch something on your paper. And mid fidelity is just you are using your Figma. You are using your Figma to just set out your your wireframe with the box, with the shapes, just that the color are not there, the button are there, but the color are not there. So the high fidelity is just what, when everything is well properly properly furnished. Probably you've added your color, you've added your like proper font, you added everything, the pictures that you want to use, illustrations, and all that you want to use on each screen. So that is that about wireframing. We have something called prototype. I said it earlier. Prototype is just more like a mock-up of any product that you design, sending it out for people to just try to help you to check the flow before you send it to the developers. And we have design system. I said something about design system earlier. Design system is just the more like the tools that you use to make a particular product. The tools that you use to make a particular product. There is tools I think in engineering, people that are conversant with, like, I mean, civil engineering, there is tools that they use for structure. There is tools that they use for road. And when it comes to what is it called? C engineering, there is also the tools that they use for that. So for each product, that is design system for each product. If I design for a bank now, I have their own design system for them. If I design for just probably a company musical company like Boom and all like that, I should be able to give them the design system for what, for that product. Design system is just like, if I can work for Facebook now, creating a design system for them, and I use that design system to finish the product. They are still the owner of that design system. If any designer is still coming to add some features to that product, that person is still using that design system in order for them to just maintain the consistencies of that product. Okay, so design system is just more like tools for us, to make a design, make it well organized. Moving forward, we're going to have a kind of practical class exercise, during our live class like this. We try to make a design of mobile banking app, or just try to have a product that we just need to work around for our hand to be well strong on what we are here to learn. And these are the steps that we're going to look into: create a user persona, we draw our wireframe, design user screen, and we build a prototype for the product that we actually pick. It can be any other product, maybe all these music songs product like that. We can just pick one. We can pick e-commerce product and all, but it's just based on, like, just all on our choice. Because if you have an idea to design a banking app, you'll be able to just design any other products. Even that I've never seen that product that you won't be able to just design. Moving forward, career opportunity in UI UX. We have a lot of career opportunity. And the number one is UI designer, which is very, very common. We have a lot of UI designer. People just like, they want to make it visual appealing. They want to make it visual appealing. And another one is UX designer. We know them, they deal with what? Users experience. They deal with user experience. They just want users to just understand that, oh, this product is going to work this way and that way. It makes life easy for users out there, and they still make life easy for the UI designers and the developers. So we have another career that says product designers. Product designers, they understand the product, how it's going to work. They understand the whole keys of the product that you're actually designing. So that is how that is why they are different. Because sometimes people just they just mix everything up, like who is a product designer, who is a UI UX designer. Product designers, they understand both the UI UX, they understand the keys around the products that they're actually working towards. And again, we have interaction designers. Most interaction designers, they deal with the surveys, they deal with all these user personas and all, just to know what we can actually add to the product and what we can remove from the product. And we have UX researcher. UX, they meet users, they research, or they just try to ask for the pain point. What can we use as you imagine? In fact, I believe you've used some product that they'll be asking you, please, that they really need your feedback. From your feedback, they improve the product, a particular product that you are using. They improve it from the feedback they get from you. Moving forward, we have the understanding final advice. You must understand your user. Keep your design simple. Text design frequently for you to know how to make that product, make it work very well. I think when OPay just got in Nigeria, it was not so as active as it is now. But based on the feedback they are getting from their users, they are trying to make the product, make it more usable and make it more visual appealing for their users. And as a be it UI UX designer, a product designer, a UX researcher, interactive designers, in any career you just found yourself, you just need to just engage in continuous learning. I used to tell people out there, I can say 70% of what I know today, I know it through my own personal learning, not probably in the class, not probably from course I bought. No, it's from my own personal learning. So this is where we be cutting the cutting of this section. Please, if you have anybody that have question, please kindly unmute yourself and let us hear the question that you have. Please, if you have a question, let us unmute yourself and let us hear your question. Please, let's ask question. Let us ask question. Question. I know that I have more gurus in the house. Please, if you have any questions things that is not that clear during the course of my explanation, things that in fact probably is not even part of what we just discuss now, and probably if Eddie somewhere, you can just try to unmute yourself and let us hear what you have for us. See, is it Mrs. or Miss or Mr. Envo? Please, if you have any question, kindly unmute yourself. King Roland, if you have any question, and just try to unmute yourself. All right. If there is no question, I think we try to call it a day.
Hello.
Okay, I'm with you.
Okay, my own question is concerning these UX laws. Concerning these UX laws, are we going to get them in this class, or we should just do our own research on it?
What I will do is that I will try to look for regarding the US laws to us, to just read more about it. So that is when we can actually get it more better. We cannot, if we say we want to start like discussing about US laws now, it can get much of our time, and we might not touch more practicals that we need to touch during the course of this class. We just try to just I will try to look for the material, send it to us, and probably during a meetup class like that, we try to just do some explanation on it. Don't know if probably I answer your question.
Okay, that's cool, sir. But I still have another question though. Can I go on? Hello?
Hello, I'm with you. Please kindly go on.
I said I have another question. Can I go on?
Yes. Go on.
Okay. During the course of the lecture, there was something you made mention of, and that is that the UI and the UX and the UI designers does their thing first, more or less like they create the structure before the developers. So I want to really understand: is it that the UI stroke UX designers do their own thing first before giving it to developers to actually develop whatever it is, maybe the app or the website, or they work hand in hand? Maybe it will get to a point, maybe the developer will develop to a point, send to the UX or UI designer to check some things, correct some things, and send back. So I just want to get it clear. Is it more or less like uh, a preceding something from UX or UI designer to the developer, or is interwoven? Maybe they work hand in hand. That's just what I want to know, sir.
All right. Thank you for that question. Let me explain your question this way. And I don't know, probably you understand structure, all this engineering stuff and all engineering stuff. In engineering, before any development, the architects, they work like they just try all their possible best to make that design, make it available. If in this contest, designer will do their design first, and once they are done with their design, they send it across to the developers. The only time that they just try to work in time, probably they have limited time. The designer, they try to, and once they have limited time like that, there won't be room for prototyping and sending that product out there for users to just test it before that product pass through development stage. There won't be room for that again, because they are just trying to just make everything, make it easy and make it fast. But if on the norms, designers should be able to finish their design, and they send that design across after the design have passed through the testing, the prototype testing and all. They send it across to the developer. The only things that can make them, probably they are in hurry. They want to just design the MVP. They want to design the MVP. Once as they are designing the MVP, probably is maybe designer design just 3 screen today. They can just try to send that 3 screen, send it to the developer. Developer continue their work. They move on with development of that 3 screen. And probably the following day, designer design like 2 screen again. They send it to the developer, and the developer continue their jobs like that. So, but in a proper workflow, designers should be able to just finish their work, and after that, they send it across to the developers for developers to just develop the product. I don't know if I answered the question.
I understand. I think I get it clearer now, sir. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Any other question before we call it a day? All right. If there is no any other question, I think our next schedule should be on Thursday. Please, let's prepare ourselves. Come early, because Thursday is going to be a kind of practical time together. Please, let's come early for us to just do more that day. Thank you for joining. Really appreciate everybody. See you in the next class, please. We try probably by tomorrow for people that are not on call yesterday for the orientation section. Please, once we upload the video, please try your possible best to just watch through that videos for us to know, for you to know what we actually have for you in the orientation program. Please, let's do that. And you know, the link of each videos will be on the group description. So once you probably want to rewatch, just go to the group description. You see the link to the video, yes, and you know, pick it up from there. Thank you once again.